Welcome to Wisdom Became Her, that good old safe space where we unpack our hidden traumas so we can finally walk in the grace that God so lovingly gave us. If you are new here, welcome into our little corner of healing. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button because if God has guided you here, He is guiding you home. If you are returning, grace and peace, y'all. You already know the love here is real. So let's dive in and let the healing begin. So this morning, I went out to feed my birdies because I love my birds. And I brought bird feed. So I threw out the bird feed. Normally they love the bird feed. The birds was not flocking for the bird feed. And I'm like, really? It's like, this is crazy. But I know I had some stale bread in the house. So I ran in the house and got the stale bread. Now, it's still gluten-free bread. Normally, they don't go for the bread. I'll throw the bread out with the bird feed, and they'll grab up all the bird feed and leave my stale gluten-free bread on the ground, which makes sense because I don't want it either. But okay. But I go out and I throw out the gluten-free bread. Tell me why today's the day they want to eat up gluten-free bread like it was a delicacy. They got me wanting to retry the bread, like thinking that maybe I wrote it off for no reason, but I digress. But I knew, and this was a message, because it never happens that way. So I was like, what is the message here? So while I just sat outdoors in nature, watched my birds eat, I just waited to see what came to me. And what I got was, breadcrumbing is for birds, not for people you say you love. And I was like, ooh, that's a good one. So go down real quick in the phone. I was like, let me sit with this a bit. And I realized that today's topic was going to be about breadcrumbing. And it's a topic that, can I tell you, this was a hard thing to overcome for me. I know I say all areas of healing are hard to overcome. Some areas are so deep down ingrained into your being that they are a part of who you've become, and you don't even know it until you understand how it is working with you, against you, and through you. Breadcrumbing was that for me. So before I get started into how it even happened for me, let's talk about what breadcrumbing is. Breadcrumbing is when a person, a soul, even an establishment, is intending on keeping you with hopes and dreams of something that is to come, but never fulfilling it. So they give you just enough to reel you in, but never fulfill it. Just is what it is. Think about it. If somebody gave you a bowl full of breadcrumbs, if it's a small bowl, because they give you a big bowl like the day before, but for the most part, a bowl of crumbs is not going to keep you full. So you never fully engage. You're never fully, completely, I want to say, invested in. Right? So this is what breadcrumbing is. Now, breadcrumbing, like I said, is not just for relationships. You can be breadcrumbed from a business. You can be breadcrumbed in your family, in your friendships. So breadcrumbing is something that is across the board, but it takes for you to really understand what's happening, what the mindset of the person who is intending to do it to you is going through, why it's even a thing, and how you are allowing it to stay relevant. And then once you really understand those areas, you now can heal it. So we're going to start with what breadcrumbing looks like. So breadcrumbing can be in your face and loud, or it can be very overt. So you have to make sure that you understand that it's not something that necessarily is always on display. Sometimes it is hidden beneath a whole bunch of insinuations and intentions so that they can disguise it as pure nature. So when it comes to a business can breadcrumb you simply by telling you how amazing your work is. Oh my gosh, you're the best. We could have never done this without you. You're always so great. Continuously feeding into your ego, letting you know how valued you are. Meanwhile, your pay don't reflect it. If you have to call out, you're being made to feel guilty about the fact that the team needs you. You're not maybe looked at as somebody who can get the next promotion. They want to keep you where you are because where you are is where they make the most off of you. Breadcrumbing, business breadcrumbing. From friendships, it can look like the friend who calls you very regularly, always has something that they need your help with. Oh my gosh, I'm going through this. Can you listen? Can you hear me? Can you do any of this? I need $20, something like that. And then they, oh, I'll pay you back. Oh, I can't, I'll be there for you. But when you need that friend, they're not there. Even if it was just to have a listening ear. They never hear your problems, but you're always there to help solve theirs. Breadcrumbing, one-sided with friendship. In family dynamics, it can be breadcrumbing in the area of love, where maybe you're consistently trying to earn affection in your household. I cleaned my room, I cleaned the kitchen, I mopped the floors, I did all these things. And now your family will say how amazing you are, how much they love you. But when you don't do those things, you're overlooked, you're practically invisible, you're unseen, definitely unrecognized. Family breadcrumbing. Now, as far as relationships, relationship breadcrumbing gets real deep because it will be consistently texting you about, can't wait to see you, but the seeing you never comes into fruition. It can be texting you consistently for a bit and then ghosting, and then coming back into your life as if nothing happened, and then ghosting when they feel like it again. Keeps you hoping and wanting and craving more, knowing they never really intended to give it to you. Relationship breadcrumbing can also be giving you the love and affection behind closed doors, and then in public, never seeing you, or making sure no one thinks that they see you. Yeah, breadcrumbing is one of those things, a little beast, because it be all around. If you don't know what's going on, it's easy for you to mistake breadcrumbing for lopsided love. And that's what I'm going to get into next. So now that we kind of understand what breadcrumbing looks like, let's talk about where it comes from and why a lot of people are more susceptible to breadcrumbing than others. So for myself, breadcrumbing started when I was very young. As a kid, I was being breadcrumbed. And of course, you're a kid, you don't know that that's what's going on, but it very much was what was going on. So as I stated, like a lot of times, children who are breadcrumbed, they're seeking some sort of validation from the people who claim to love them. So they'll try to do as much as they possibly can because they think that love is something that you get when you put in as much energy and effort as possible. And that comes from that mental training. Breadcrumbing is one of those ways to condition that. But what always happens is you're always left feeling like you never quite broke even on what you gave and what you got. Now, when you condition a child to be breadcrumbed, you put them in a mind state of thinking that expecting more from others for what they do is selfish. And because that's selfish, they're ungrateful. This is how you get stuck in a mindset of breadcrumbing. Then it bleeds on into your relationships, your business endeavors when you become older, because you were mentally trained as a child to think that wanting more or expecting more for what you give, or even just being yourself from the people who claim to care, is selfish of you. And they try to push guilt and shame because of that. Now, I'm going to give you an example, right? As a child who goes to school, and let's say you get good grades, and the reason why you're getting these good grades is because you really want to be seen as somebody who is responsible, who is trustworthy, who makes decisions that are important toward their growth and elevation, right? And you do all these things, and you bring them home, and you show your parents, and yes, you're doing a great job. You got all A's, and you've been consistent with these all A's for maybe 3 years. And your parents look at these all A's, and they're just like, oh, you did good, but you're supposed to do that, which is true. But never making you feel like the work you're putting into that is worth being acknowledged. So it leaves you sitting there craving more affection, more attention, more acknowledgement for the work you're trying to do to make sure that your parents know that you are responsible, that you are someone who cares about your future, and they're never quite giving it to you. I'll give you an example as well, my personal example. This is for y'all, okay? Personal example. When I was in the 4th grade, I entered a storytelling contest. I won first place in this storytelling contest. I wrote my own story, read it out loud in front of all these people, 4th grade. What I won was the ability to get my book published in our library, which they put it out, displayed it, also won a trophy, and I won an award for it. Super excited. So one of my very first awards, I remember it like it was yesterday because it was meaningful to me. A few weeks later, we were now in summertime, school's out, and my mom was cleaning her room. And as she's cleaning her room, I happened to walk in and ask her a question. And she answered my question, and as I was walking out of the room, I happened to peer into the trash can, just like look over. And what I seen in the trash can was that award that I got for that storytelling contest. Now, granted, I felt proud of that storytelling contest. It was probably one of the most important endeavors in my life because I later on had to re-understand that I'm a writer. But from that moment, when I seen it in the trash can and it was discarded and it was unvalidated, I now felt like I was not a writer. And for years, I thought my writing wasn't as good as it should have been. And my writing was exceptional. And it was not getting appreciated that made me minimize myself in an area that I was amazingly superior at. And this is exactly what breadcrumb does to you. You can be everything you're supposed to be, but the person who's intending to breadcrumb you does not want you to see that. They want to make sure that you feel that your position is less than, because breadcrumbing is a manipulation and control tactic. It keeps you from feeling better than someone else in their eyes, not yours, theirs. So now we'll get into the whys, since we're already touching it. Why do people breadcrumb others? A lot of times, and we're looking at about a 90% rate. It is due to their own insecurities. So you are being breadcrumbed because somebody else is insecure about who they are. A lot of times the ones who are getting breadcrumbed are supposed to receive the whole thing. That's the reason why. You most likely are either the whole package and someone does not want you to know, or everyone notices that you are owed more. And if they keep you downplayed, such as business, if they keep you downplayed, they can get more out of you or more usage out of you versus pushing you to where you belong and losing control over your growth and elevation. We live in a very capitalistic world. Everyone wants to maximize off everyone else. This is to our detriment because this capitalized world view of how everything needs to go leaves everyone in a position where they have a crap in a barrel mentality. They think in order for them to succeed, someone else has to fail. And it's, if I can't make money off of you, or if you are surpassing me, you're in an op. And it's not necessarily the case. Just because you want to succeed or you are going to succeed does not make you the opposition of somebody else's success. A lot of times it's the ones you're fighting so hard to keep from succeeding and elevating. Those are the ones who, when they succeed and elevate, they'll reach back and pull your hand up. A lot of times. Because it's usually the ones who possess humility, who possess compassion, empathy, love, unconditional love. These are the people who, when they pour into you because they're seeking validation, it's because they want what's best for themselves. They also want what's best for you too. So understand that if you are someone who has been breadcrumbed, you are exceptional. You always have been. And the reason why you're being breadcrumbed is because others see it too, and it hurts too much to acknowledge it. This is your truth. Live in that truth. This is why people breadcrumb others, even in families. A lot of times your family will see your potential before you do because they see you very young. Like I said, 4th grade, I was writing. You would think that would be something that would be like, oh, wow. No, we should definitely put her in some writing classes or something, right? Because that shows that person right in that area, they got that. But when you see it, and instead of nurturing it, you allow it to kind of just fall to the wayside or make it seem like you're mediocre. That person sees themselves the same way, especially when they're children. Children are very vulnerable to how others interact with them. So like I said, when you're breadcrumb from young and you start to see it, you accept it when you become an adult because you don't know that there's so much more for you, because when you did think there was more for you, it netted you some sort of emotional punishment. So you stop craving more and you start accepting breadcrumbs as if they are full 3-course meals. It's a no-go, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and recognize breadcrumbing has never been a thing. It's never been something that's going to be healthy for you. If you got to downplay who you are in order for somebody else to feel validated, it's time to get out. It's time to get out. And since you're being breadcrumbed anyway, you're not full. Get you a meal. It's time to go get you a meal. Because if that person can't see you, somebody else will. Relationship breadcrumbing is deep. Because I will say, in my marriage, I was breadcrumbed a lot. At one point in time, my husband was making more than I was. And he wasn't paying his end of the bills. And I was giving him money. And he was making more than me. Because he was spending his money. And then I would give him money. He would spend my money too. Hardcore breadcrumbing. And it wasn't until I realized that his bills weren't even getting paid, and that wasn't the reason why he didn't have money. That was when I realized, wow, so what are you spending my money on if you're spending your money too? The answer would probably blow your mind if I told you, but we'll leave this right here. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to understand how to heal this, go ahead over to my Patreon. That's when we're going to talk about the healing modules. The healing is going to be in depth because we're going to talk about what frame of mind you need to be in order to fully get rid of this. How to understand if somebody's breadcrumbing you or if maybe you're overlooking it. Most of the times you are correct. Most of the times you're correct. There are going to be some cases where people will breadcrumb you, and it's simply because they have a lack mindset. Because they know that if they give too much or they've given too much to people in the past and have been taken advantage of. But even that is not a reason to accept breadcrumbing, guys. It's not. It's for you to educate that person on the fact that, hey, listen, if I'm promoting that I'm a safe space and you believe it, you can't half believe it. You either do or you don't. And if you don't, that's okay. I don't accept breadcrumbs as meals. And just recognizing that that's what it is. But there are ways to get rid of this. Because I will tell you now, I've been breadcrumbed my whole life. I don't accept crumbs no more. So, hope you got a loaf of bread out here for this birdie. I'm gonna leave this right here, okay? Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. And if you are new, welcome to the family. Subscribe. I love you all. Head over to my Patreon. She healed anyway, and get that healing module for you guys. Love you, like, y'all, and peace.